Welcome back to the 2025 James P. Mac McCarthy Memorial Southeast Regional Lifeguard Championships. Jim McCready here from Hallandale Beach. I'm the Lifesaving Sport Director for the Southeast region. With me here, we have Jack Driscoll, retired beach captain from Volusia County.
Yep, good to be here, Jim, once again on another beautiful day here. We are awaiting what event? This is day 2, afternoon schedule of events, is going to be kicking off with what? The International Ironman?
Right, our first event post-lunch will be our International Ironwoman, International Ironman. This is one of our favorite spectator events. We have running, swimming, board paddling, and surf ski paddling all into one event. This is kind of, you've heard of the Ironman triathlon. Well, this is the Ironman Ironwoman Race of the Lifeguard Games here. This is where you get your endurance athletes, but it's not just endurance. Right,
it's like the MVP of your team. They're well practiced in each one of those events. They've gotten to a point now where they've honed the craft on each and every one of the tools that is being used and put on display here this week. And it should be interesting. I'm really looking forward to the women's event because I have an idea who I'm going to be watching, because both of the ladies that I've been watching this week are national competitors and also bidding for world team spots.
And in this International Ironman, Ironwoman, you have to give the advantage to our surf ski paddlers. You can be a very good swimmer, very good board paddler, but if you don't know how to negotiate that 19-foot surf craft, I'm speaking about the surf ski around the course, you have no chance in placing in this event.
And of all the crafts that we're using here, it's by far the fastest. Is that not right?
The fastest and the most difficult to master. Very, very tippy, takes a lot of balance, a lot of muscle coordination to be able to be a fast surf ski paddler.
It's hard to balance. It's hard to get into, to mount exactly. And just like a bicycle, somebody was telling me earlier, you have to have momentum to stay in the saddle.
Absolutely. If you're going forward, the balance becomes easier. A lot of people can get on a surf ski and paddle for a short distance in a flat water environment. But then you mix in a couple turns, and then you mix in some wind chop like we're seeing out here, especially on those turns, and you're going to see some people go down around the turns.
Right. Conditions have changed since this morning when we had some events that were out on the water. We can definitely see whitecaps blowing out of the southeast now, which is pretty typical in Florida on a summer afternoon. Before we get into that, and before they start staging their crafts at water's edge, we're winding up some of the this morning's events, and one of them is going to be the men's 90-meter sprint, a new event this year on the regional trail here in Southeast chapters. But nonetheless, we had so many competitors. We broke for lunch, and now we're rejoining the marshalling out on the beach, and we're going to run the final 2 groupings of competitors in the 90-meter sprint before we move back out into the ocean.
That is correct. We're going to start out with the men's final. We can see the men. These are our 90-meter beach sprinters lined up, and they have gone through a grueling series of preliminary heats, and we also had 4 semifinal heats to get us here to our top 10 fastest 90-meter beach sprinters.
A difficult event to judge. You have 10 lanes. These competitors tend to be close. They're moving fast. They are in marked lanes. Nonetheless, the speed at which they're crossing the finish line, you have to keep a good eye on them. So we'll have a visual from above with the drones, and we'll also have lane judges and stopwatches to determine who our top point getters are.
And we heard from the officials that we will not have a consolation final. The consolation final in this event would determine who got points for 11th place through 16th place. We talked to the competitors, we talked to the judges, and everyone agreed that it would be faster just to hand the points out based on stopwatch times in lieu of having a consolation final. As one competitor told me, I don't really feel like racing as hard as I can for 11th place.
Right, and a lot of wear and tear on the legs of these competitors because we expect a lot of them to be right back in a relay race here shortly, don't we?
Relay race, and of course some of these runners made it to finals and beach flags, and they're just trying to save the wheels for tonight under the lights.
Right, it's hot out here. They did have a lunch break, but their feet are burning, their quads are burning, so and they've already run several heats, so it would be fair to give them all a break. And it looks like our lane judges are starting to line up the competitors to get this event going.
So if you're in this final, that means that you've run this race on this beach at least 3 times.
At least 3 times.
Maybe 4. There were so many heats I might have lost track. But here we are at the finals. These are some truly fast 90-meter beach runners. We have seen some injuries in the prelims, huh, Jack?
Had a couple people pull up with looked like hamstring injuries at the end at the finish line, and those are slow to heal. We probably will see another injury or 2. I will have to say that they're moving at such a fast pace, both here and in beach flags later on this afternoon. It tends to be pretty intense events and a little bit more riskier than some of the events that we're going to have.
And we have seen a certain color beanie emerging here as some of the faster runners. It looks like it's that white and blue. I think it's blue. It might be light green.
Aqua-colored.
Beanie from the Emerald Coast. That makes sense, right? Emerald Coast chapter.
Emerald Coast, yeah.
It's probably an emerald-colored
there you go.
Beanie. See what I'm doing there, folks? I'm figuring stuff out as I go.
Well, I get it. White sand dunes that they have out there.
Right.
And a pure white sand, sugar sand, and then, of course, the emerald-colored beanies. Okay. Nonetheless, they brought a 33-person team, and they are in second as far as team overall standings go.
And it seems like all 33 of those competitors were in the 90-meter beach sprint.
It does. They've dominated, and hey, this competition is not over. There's 3 running events left, or 3 sprint land events left, or they could really start accruing some points to finish this thing out close with Volusia County leading.
We did see those Emerald Coast runners winning all of their respective heats, including the semifinal heat. So I would be safe to say going into this final that they are our favorites.
Okay, now they're lining up. The judges are lining up women. They're going to get the ladies on the starting line.
They have pulled
first.
the men off the line. We now have the women lined up. This will be our fastest 90-meter beach sprinters of the female variety. Let's see what we got here. I see some Volusia County runners out there.
I do see some red beanies from Volusia County. Typically, that's their color with the black suits. And then, of course, we've got a couple of black beanies. It looks like maybe one from Navarre Beach is down there as well. But the officials have called them to the line.
I believe they've all been marshaled. They're in their proper lanes. The officials are now checking the stopwatches to make sure they're all operational. We are assigning lanes to officials. It looks like our runners are in the hands of the starter, awaiting their final instructions from Joe Wagenhals there at the start line. She has the whistle. We are ready to go.
This is going to be a fast-moving race. Of course, we have a drone overhead watching it for us all. And we can't thank the people in community information with Volusia County for covering this for us. This has just been uncomparable as far as watching a Southeast
I would
region.
venture to say the best coverage you've ever had at regionals.
This has just been outstanding.
Okay, our runners are in the hands of the starters.
Finish
you can
line.
see some of our runners are down on their track start. Some others are standing up, shaking their arms out.
No starting blocks here, right?
Nope, not legal. In past sprinting events, we've allowed runners to use the foot of their teammate as a starting block, not in this event, and they're off. As they run down this 90 meters.
Pretty tightly contested so far.
Very close race here. I don't see a clear leader right now. Wow, the officials really have their work cut out for them here.
Too close to call. Look like lane 4. And
I don't see any
6
popsicle sticks, so it looks like they're going strictly by the stopwatch times.
Nobody pulled up with an injury, it looks like, so it was a clean race. Everybody stayed in their lanes, so no DQs at the starting line or lane violations. So that was a good, fair race, and the men will be lining up immediately afterward. As soon as we get these finish times marshaled to the timekeeper, we'll be moving on to the men's.
And of course, if we have any discrepancies with respect to place or any stopwatch, misfirings or problems there, we're going to go ahead and go with the drone footage. They're going to look at that same footage that we just looked at to try to determine the places. Hopefully we don't have to do that. Hopefully the stopwatch times were all taken correctly, and we can start handing out points to these fast women.
So identification purposes, of course, most of them are required, all of them are required for that matter, to use a colored beanie, both in the water or on land. And they also are numerated as they register, and then we can go back to a computer on our records keeping staff, and we identify by numeration on their left arm.
And speaking of beanies, look at all those Emerald Coast beanies lined up for our 90-meter beach sprint final here.
Yeah, that's
more than half. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
6 finalists for Emerald Coast in the 90-meter beach sprint. We can expect them to have some very strong run relay teams later.
Stacked event, and there was a couple in particular in their heats. They were just leaving the rest behind. They were smoking the field. So it doesn't surprise me at all if we see an Emerald Coast beanie at the finish line first.
I see a couple Clearwater beanies there. Is that a St. John's? I'm trying to differentiate here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have 6 Emerald Coast runners. We have a lone Volusia County runner.
And they're lining up, and they're making sure the finish line is cleared of the female finishers, and clearing that finish line so the timers are all ready. They've cleared their clocks and got their lane assignments back and preparing for the men to come their way.
And I did just hear from the officials that they do need to look at that drone footage to figure out who won that women's surf dash.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be close. I don't know if it was for first, second, or second and third, but there was one particular race there that was, it looked like a dead heat.
So we're gonna delay any announcement of who won that last race until the officials have a chance to look at that drone footage. Luckily we have that. I do not believe that will delay the men's final.
It shouldn't. They've called their attention to the starting line. They're all in their assigned lanes. There's a camera both at ground level and above over there, and I'm sure there's several cell phones that are being used at the finish line anyway. So eventually they'll see exactly who to assign the finishing.
And our runners are in the hands of the starters here for the men's 90-meter beach sprint final, and they're off. And look at those white and emerald caps go.
This is going to be
wow,
close.
What a race, what a
teammates.
race. It's another one I don't know that I can call from this vantage point.
Yeah, good luck with that, because all the water's edge lanes look pretty grouped together. I mean, one stride apart crossing that finish line. They are confounding the finishing results with our officials, but they'll weed through it.
So let's take this time to thank our officials again. Down there by the water, we have the lovely Genevieve Dunlap, my girlfriend,
awesome,
who has volunteered her time to come out here and help officiate. It looks like right next to her we have Ethan Phillips from Gulf Shores, Alabama. There's Don May, our head official. Like I said, he's been doing this event for 25 years. Seasoned veteran. He's also been an official on the national level. We also have Joe Wagenhals, who does just about everything and anything here at Regionals. Immeasurable amount of work that she does. We also have Helena Koshneves from the Breakers Resort Hotel. And of course we have Eric Bebchik, former Southeast Regional Competition Director, who's come out of retirement to help us here. And I'm sure I'm missing a couple other people, and they'll let me know about that later, I'm sure. But just, if you see these officials, maybe buy them a beverage after the event, slap them on the back. It's a very thankless job. You're standing out in the sun for 10 to 12 hours. You don't get paid. You withstand a lot of abuse.
Yeah, it could be
both
stressful.
from the elements
could be
and also
stressful.
from the competitors. And
they're missing you. They're missing you.
And right, I'm up here in the broadcast booth. Although I would love to be down there on the front lines in the hot, breezy beach environment.
Taking the verbal abuse of missing something or another. I see Joe's has left the venue, Wags has left the venue of the run area, and she's marshaling up first call for the International Ironman and Ironwoman.
So I think at this point, the results for the 90-meter beach sprint, they're in the hands of the officials, looking at the stopwatch times and double-checking that against the drone footage. And for all your race results, go to ser.lifeguardregionals.com. This is part of Skip Prosser's Lifeguard Metrics website. We want to thank Skip for all the hard work he does in scoring not just this regional event, but most of the regional events around the country, and he will be scoring our Lifeguard Nationals at Huntington State Beach in sunny Southern California in a couple weeks here in early August.
So all the regions around the country, while we have a brief break, they have regionals or have had regionals. I noticed Virginia was participating in one last week. I don't know exactly what location they were at, but I know it was highly attended up in the South Atlantic coast, or is that the Mid-Atlantic coast I was watching?
That's the bottom end of the Mid-Atlantic. We have 9 different regions in the USLA, all of which host a regional lifeguard championships of one kind or another. Not all regions use the same events. Some events don't use surf boats. Some regions don't use surf skis. But we can rest assured that all the regions use some form of running and swimming. There is a little bit of leeway given to each region with respect to what events they contest at their regionals. We like to think that the Southeast region here has been at the forefront of introducing new events and adding more and more events each year. And sure, this event takes a long time, but I think the competitors are happy that they have a lot more events to choose from.
Yeah, far more inclusive, and again, it gets more people involved and the opportunity to participate. Now, one region I haven't talked about, but I know it exists. What about Hawaii, and who do they belong with?
The Hawaiian Islands are in the Pacific Islands region.
Okay.
Which includes the 5 major Hawaiian islands: Oahu, the Big Island,
Maui. They've got lifeguards.
Right, Maui.
They've got a lot of lifeguards out there. I do know that. We have 2 Volusia County alumni that are with the Honolulu Beach Patrol, Matt DeBrule,
Kauai,
and J.R. Sloan.
And we also have the island of Guam. So there are some U.S. island territories in that Pacific Island region, and they have some of the best ocean athletes in the world, obviously, because of the conditions they have to contend with out there. They had a very good team years back called the Aloha Lifesaving team that came from, it was kind of an all-star team from the Hawaiian Islands that came out to nationals and either won or came in second place in the B division. But because of the cost in traveling and especially in transporting equipment, we don't always see the Hawaiian lifeguards at all of our nationals, but we definitely love to see them when they show up.
Yeah, they're top of their class.
And then the other regions, we have the Gulf Coast region, which includes Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. We've had a very successful nationals hosted at South Padre Island over the past couple years, a couple times in a row there. And of course, we have the Great Lakes region with the great lifeguard tradition up there in Chicago. We have the New England region. We have the Mid-Atlantic, which includes New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island, some of those other states in there. South Atlantic, which is the northern part of Florida up to Virginia Beach. So just wanted to talk about the different regions and the fact that every region here in the USLA does contest some type of regional lifeguard tournament, and the cream of the crop from each one of those regions makes it out to nationals, and we have a truly spectacular event that we're looking forward to in Huntington Beach, California.
That's awesome, Jim. Okay, we're going to take a break while we're marshaling up and getting the equipment ready for the entrance of the International Ironman and Ironwoman, and we'll be back shortly.
Going out for my favorite part of the job, my paid training hour every day. So yeah, if you like to train and you love the water, come be a Volusia County Lifeguard.
I value people's lives. I want to be someone on that right chair saving people.
I know that they always save people's lives and they're really disciplined and they're a good lifeguarding organization, and I just wanted to do something meaningful, like help people.
If you like to train and you love the water, come be a Volusia County Lifeguard.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Ironwoman Race.
And what are you out here doing today?
I'm training to be lifeguard. It's my second job.
All right. And what's your day job?
I work for Advent Health, medical assistant in neurosurgery.
Awesome. And what made you want to become a lifeguard in your spare time?
I like to help people and be outside a little.
What's been the hardest part about lifeguard training?
Definitely, I'm not a swimmer, doing the 500-meter swim, but once you get past that hurdle, it's pretty easy from there.
What's been your favorite part about training?
Going out on mock rescues, definitely the best part.
How'd you hear about the Lifeguard Recruit class?
My friends, but also just seeing them, I looked it up and I filled out that application.
How long have you wanted to be a lifeguard for?
Ever since I moved here, so about 8 months ago. Yeah.
What's your favorite part so far?
Just thought of saving people.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Thinking that same thing, Dave. We'll stop you up. You're crushing it. Good job,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the 2025 James P. Mac McCarthy Southeast Regional Lifeguard Championships here at the beautiful Hard Rock Hotel on magnificent Daytona Beach, Florida. Can we talk about the Hard Rock facility here a little bit, Jack?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was a renovation job several years ago that Hard Rock invested in, and they turned this older structure around into one of the gems of Daytona Beach. There's 3 levels to relax in as far as the ocean side of the buildings go. Their lobby is just absolutely spectacular with all the legitimate memorabilia from rock and roll stars. They spotlight even the Allman Brothers, who of course cut their teeth right here in Daytona Beach, where they went to high school in one of the areas. But from their pool deck to the entertainment level up on the 3rd deck,
I saw
where they
some
have
Tom Petty paraphernalia, also Florida.
Right. Tom Petty from Gainesville.
Jacksonville, right?
Tom Petty was from Gainesville, Florida,
okay.
University
All
of
right,
Florida,
all right.
yeah. But he visited Daytona Beach quite a bit, you know, as a young spring breaker as well. And yeah, there was just kind of a rock and roll hub for years, especially in the 60s and 70s, you know, with all the venues up and down the strip.
And one thing you will notice about the Hard Rock motels are the music that they pump into every room, including your room that you stay in. When you open that door, when you first walk through the door, you get to hear your favorite type of rock and roll.
Yeah, you can dial it in. They got Sessions Restaurant out on the pool deck, both indoors and outdoors. The people at the front desk have just been remarkable. They have a great gift shop with all the Hard Rock wear. A lot of people collect the hard rock from different places, and you can certainly get it here too. Of course, there's a Hard Rock down near Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, and the one over in Tampa. But let's not forget this one right here. It's right on the beach. It's the only one like that in Florida that's right on the beach. And I'll tell you what, they've really been an outstanding host. They've accommodated us in every way that they possibly could. And we hope we reciprocated by putting on a good show. These guards are totally impressed with this place.
I think when they renovated this hotel, they put a little extra money into the air conditioning system and the insulation here. This is some of the coldest air conditioning I've ever felt, which was just very welcomed after a hot day out here in these 88 to 90 degree air temperatures, to walk into that ice cold air conditioned lobby. It feels very good.
Feels good, and it's hard to keep a big structure like this cool, but even in the lobby and the gift shop, and with as much as the front doors are opening up, the valet has just been over the top, the concierge service, everybody's just been great. So welcome here. Consider it on your next trip to Daytona Beach, and we just really appreciate them for hosting us yet again.
So as we look out to the beach, you can see our lifeguards bringing their surf skis down to the north end of the course, marshaling for the international Ironman, Ironwoman events. Sometimes the athletes themselves will be carrying their own equipment. Other times the athletes will be resting in the shaded tent while they have board handlers, ski handlers taking their equipment to the appropriate areas. Sometimes, though, the competitor wants to make sure that their equipment is in the right place, set up the way they like it. So you'll have a combination of that right now. I did not see what the order of events was picked for this. In the American Ironman, we have a predetermined pick where it's always swim, paddle, row. But in the international, we determine this by popsicle stick pick. We can start out with the surf skis, we can start with the paddle boards, or we start out with the swim. So it's yet to be determined, at least from our vantage point up here in the broadcast booth.
So just to be clear, Jim, there is no set order at this juncture as to which particular...
They have already determined that. We just have not received that information yet.
Okay.
So they have decided. We're just going to look out here and see who lines up first.
Now, when you get to this level of competition, these competitors pretty much own their own crafts, boards and skis. Is that correct?
I would say at the smaller beach patrols, for the smaller lifeguard teams, that is absolutely correct. For the larger beaches like Volusia County, if you've ever been to Volusia County's headquarters, what is that, like a 4-story structure?
Yeah, it's a 3-story structure.
6,000 square feet.
It's big and wide as far as equipment goes.
And they have a couple bays that are just chock full of life-saving equipment, of life-saving competition equipment. I looked over there. There must have been 20 surf skis in there, 4 rowboats, maybe 3 dozen paddle boards. I mean, that would be an awesome situation to be able to walk in to an equipment area like that and be able to pick out a piece of brand new equipment to train on.
It is, and there's 3 other stations. Ormond Beach, our district to the north, District 2, is not nearly as big, of course, but they have 2 garage bays that on a smaller scale they do have the equipment. And of course our New Smyrna station is the newer station. Same thing, 2 large garage bays with equipment, so they don't all have to come to the main station to train. But it is a nice luxury to have. And I know the association, the Volusia Surf Lifesaving Association, I know every year after it's all said and done with sales of t-shirts and what have you, they do try and invest in a new piece of equipment here, every now and then.
Well, that strategy has definitely worked out well for the Volusia County Surf Lifesaving Competition team here. They're in first place by at least 150 points. So just that availability of equipment for all their athletes is an excellent advantage, and definitely spurs people to work out where they normally wouldn't do so. Just walking by that beautiful equipment every day as you get to work has got to lend itself to people wanting to learn that equipment and to excel on that equipment.
Right. They have weight room now as well, with some machines and free weights. And what they've recently gotten into in the last few months is each station has a cold water trough, a cold plunge.
That seems to be, I remember years back, what was that, the Ice Bucket Challenge?
Yes.
3 or 4 years ago. And now we have the ice plunges. And what's the benefit to that? I guess it allows your muscles to recover quicker?
Yeah, metabolically, I think they've taken a clue from professional football and basketball when they get in these locker room ice tubs to help with inflammation in the legs and stuff. It can be counterproductive if you're trying to do muscle growth, but just as far as increasing blood circulation to the the vital organs, it's a big help too. But hey, if they want to tolerate 50-degree water with ice cubes floating around in it, have at it.
So it looks like we're going to start out with our swim leg. We have our swimmers lined up on the start line. If you look out into the water, you're going to see those two black and white checkered sausage buoys out there. I'm imagining that these swimmers are going to swim out to the north buoy. They're going to hang a right shoulder turn to the south buoy, and they're going to swim straight back to the beach, where they're going to run down to the craft area, and they're going to grab their paddle boards for the second leg, and then we're going to finish up with the surf ski and then a 100-meter sprint down to the finish line.
Are you surmising, Jim, that this is open men category?
Yes, this is absolutely open men. I'm looking out here. I see the open men. So in this event, we're going to have open men, open women, and then we're going to have a couple heats of age groups. I do not believe there will be any open heats in this. It looks like everybody's lined up, and I believe that's just because of the number of surf skis.
Okay.
You know, I think we only have 24 surf skis here, and I don't think there's 24 competitors in this event. They're just going to have them all go at once, and they're off. Can you count the heads there? It looks like we have at least 20, right?
I think there's 18 to 20 boards being the next discipline. I've counted. I got some bodies in the way, but I've counted at least 18 paddle boards at water's edge for the next leg.
So our swimmers are in the water. It's very shallow at this point. We're looking at a pretty low tide, so you saw a lot of that high knee running through the surf. We call that surf dashing. And then, of course, that turns into your porpoising or your dolphin diving. And when you get to swimming depth, that's when you kick in your front crawl. It's not necessarily that open head or that
the approach stroke.
That approach stroke that you see in the swimming pool, but you do pick your head up a lot to see what direction you're going in. There's a lot of bilateral breathing that goes on in this event, not just for stroke efficiency and swimming speed, but also to see where those competitors are on either side of you.
Taking a peek. Yeah, I counted 20 boards, so you were right with the head count.
So this looks like Jack Evelet from Destin Beach out here in first place.
By way of Gold Coast, Australia.
And I'm guessing it's him because of his finish in the surf swim and in the run swim run, and of course his cap color. And it looks like he's got a pretty good lead. It looks like a 3 or 4 body distance on the lead in the swim. And that's huge in this event. You can make up a lot of distance on the paddleboard and on the surf ski. But if you can pull away in the swim, that's huge.
And Australia boasting a mother load of international Ironman athletes with the frequency of the surf skis being used there. He's probably a natural for this event.
It looks like the second place swimmer may also be from Destin. I'm seeing that black and white checkered or striped beanie. I'm not 100% sure. But he seems to have caught Jack there. He's enjoying the draft off of his feet as they're coming in now to they're 50 yards from shore. Right now they're trying to judge the depth. They're reaching down with their hands, and now the dolphin diving begins, or the porpoising as we call it.
They came up at the perfect time.
These guys have done this many, many times before. Is that Destin versus Destin? I can't see who that second place.
Sure.
That might actually be Deerfield Beach.
Yeah, the beanie doesn't match.
Yeah, it looks like it might be Deerfield Beach.
Okay,
And,
this run
that is
portion,
Deerfield Beach.
The run portion, this is a catch
That's
your breath.
Dylan Narkowicz there in second place. Now in first place. He just ran by Jack in the transitional run.
Narkowicz, that's a familiar sounding.
Yeah, his father
name.
was a lifeguard and competitor back in the day.
There you go.
And now they're on their rescue boards, headed into the surf, or I should say they're racing paddle boards. And we see the Destin paddler still prone paddling, trying to get the feel for the board. And we see Dylan, who won our open paddle, I believe. He is now knee paddling out. Dylan has the perfect build to be an excellent knee paddler. Very tall, very thin, long arms, can probably scratch his knees without bending over.
Ideal for this event.
Oh, yeah, and I expect him to pull away from this pack. But at the same time, you know, we have that drafting strategy that's so successful in this event. The Destin guy's like, you know what, I'm just going to suck in behind this Deerfield Beach board and enjoy the ride here.
Let him break the chop. And also third place. He's just relaxing, prone to knee, just staying tucked in behind the two ahead of him.
But let's hand it to Dylan on his swim. Dylan is known for his paddling ability. I did not know that he was that kind of swimmer. Very impressed.
And here he goes down to prone to make that right shoulder turn as the Destin paddler tries to edge in on the inside lane, and did. Now all paddlers are down in the prone position, taking a little breather, giving the muscle group a little bit of a break, and they'll probably stay this way until they make their final right turn and the final leg back to shore. Then I expect them to go with the shore chop and the wave bounce to bounce them back up onto their knees to finish out the paddle portion.
Our paddlers are paddling the inside 2 apex buoys. They're now reaching the second and final apex buoy. They're going to do a right shoulder turn. They're going to head into the beach. And this is where you'll see these prone paddlers pop up to their knees.
Pop to the knee first place, yes. Pop to the knee second place.
And this is where you get to use more body muscle groups. As a prone paddler, you're going to use your shoulders, your lats, your triceps. When you jump up to your knees, you're going to use more of those core muscles. You're going to get to dig deeper into the water. You want to get those hands all the way in the water, at least to the elbows. And then on the back part of your stroke, you're going to pull them out when the elbows reach the knees to avoid that rooster tailing that we talked about yesterday. And we have Dylan in first place. We have Jack from Destin in second place. Did you see who the third place? That third place person
I did not.
Might be Chase Robertson from Palm Beach County.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Which wouldn't surprise me either. Outstanding athlete. He's a former champion in this event. He may pull it out in the surf ski. That is his strongest leg.
Now that particular dismount, I don't know, I'm not there, but I would have tried to get a little bit more of a push from a following wave to get him closer to shore, but whatever.
So now we have the run down the beach.
This is a breather portion, is it not?
For some people, it depends on what your discipline that you're good. A lot of these people will sprint this transition just because they know everyone else is jogging it.
Make up a little bit of time if that's more your style.
And
a couple
now,
of them are starting to show their wear.
Yeah, you can see people slowing down, and let's see what we can see here on the surf ski. Was that Dylan that kind of dropped off there?
I don't know.
He was in first place.
That was odd.
And now we're launching into our surf ski leg of the International Ironman here.
It definitely looks like Jack Everly out of Destin is back.
So I'm not sure what happened to Dylan there.
He pulled up and started walking.
I hope he's not injured. But it looks like we have Jack and Chase in first and second place here. And I would expect Chase to suck in there behind
he's picking
the
up
first
cadence.
place ski, maybe catch a little bit of a draft and then maybe go for it in the end here.
The advantage of being in second place, you know how to reel in and tailgate this guy until you need to make your move. And this border is kind of running interference. He must be an age grouper that got into this particular event.
I don't think so. I think this is open only.
I don't know.
We'll call that guy a novice.
Okay, all right, but he was struggling on the board. Now these guys they're taking the outside perimeter course, right, on this ski.
Yes, this will be the 3 apex buoys. This will be the full half-mile course, I believe.
The 800-yard-ish, 800-meter.
Right, unless they receive different instructions in the entrance of time management from the officials.
That's where they're
going. But this event is drawn up to be all 3 of those apex buoys. And we have Jack Everley from Destin in first place. We have Chase Robertson in second place from Palm Beach County, making a move.
Making a move.
Look at this.
Got an inside line and really getting a lift off that swell.
And we'll see what these athletes have left in the tank as they hit this 3rd apex buoy. We still have some paddlers on the course who end up being, like you said, Jack, running some interference. They become extra pylons that have to be negotiated around at this point. But we have Chase out in front. He looks like he's pulling away. He has at least a 2 surf ski lead here. And, man, I'd really like to find out what happened with Dylan. He had such a good swim, such a good paddle, and hopefully he's not injured. But I'm almost positive Dylan's going to nationals. So if he felt something that pulled wrong or felt weird,
Yeah,
you
on
know,
that
he's going to
exit.
save himself for that national competition in Huntington Beach.
Yeah, that exit off of your craft into the surf, you know, that's always a little sketchy.
And it looks like we have, well, I'm not going to call it yet because Jack is catching some runners here, catching up to Chase at the shoreline. This might come down to a foot race.
Let's see if he can dismount cleanly, and he does.
And they're off.
But it
looks
he
like,
just took a peek.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it looks like our second place runner has pulled up into a jog. He's going to go ahead and let Chase win this one. I shouldn't say let Chase win because Chase ends up winning this.
Yeah, that was
by
earned.
about, I would say, a 75-yard margin. Jack Evelay in second place. And who's in third?
I don't know. Once we lost focus, Narkowitz there, I kind of lost count.
So it looks like this, was this AJ? Who is
Yes,
this?
this is AJ Miller from Volusia rounding the final flag on the run course.
And does he have his signature pink suit on?
So yes, he does, and he will be posting the third place, I do believe, finish.
And
Always chasing Chase.
there you go. I see what you did there with those words. And wow, look at this beach sprint coming into the finish.
And they see each other, so here we go.
And like we've mentioned many times before, just because you don't win this event doesn't mean you quit. Every single place here gets a different number of points. So we'll have a race even for 16th place here for that 1 point because every point is important towards the team championship.
Sure, I think that was Clayton DeBrule from Volusia County that came in 5th or 6th because he just rolled into AJ Miller, one of his teammates, and fell to the ground.
So if any of my Deerfield people could get back to me and let me know how Dylan's doing. Hopefully he's a healthy scratch on that. Hopefully maybe he had an injury. It was a minor one.
I thought I saw him walking away. He looks okay. If he had a black suit on, some black jammers, I thought I saw him just walking through the crowd. I couldn't be positive though.
Anyway, let's give a handout to those competitors. This is one of the hardest events at Southeast Regionals. And now we have our 14th, 15th, and 16th place runners coming in, finishing up this international Ironman competition. The women are now marshaling and lining up for their open final.
And they take it very, very seriously. We're going to try and get an interview with April O'Gorman, one of Volusia's top point getters. It's vying for a national team spot. And she goes, no, that's too close to the International Ironwoman. I'm going to have to pass. So we didn't get to get her up here. Maybe at the 4:30
Singularly
show.
focused on victory.
That's it. That's it. I mean, she says, no, I'll pass. Maybe I'll catch you later. So yeah, she was. This is her day right now. This event sort of winds up her day. I don't think she's going to be in the Taplin. Could be though. Could be. We'll just see how spent some of these athletes are.
So because some of this equipment is expensive, sometimes we'll see competitors from the same teams borrowing equipment off of each other. And even sometimes neighboring agencies will loan equipment out to competitors at other teams, showing their camaraderie and their general sportsmanship. And what's going on right now is we have the different craft handlers marshaling the equipment down to the north end of the course, setting things up, setting the stage for the women's 2025 International Ironwoman Championship here on beautiful Daytona Beach.
Speaking of sharing equipment, what I've seen on the national level and the world level when we hosted Worlds here one year, there's a lot of selling of equipment at the end of the event too. So they're just, you know what, they got a new ski ordered or a new board ordered, and they want to just save the shipping charge, and they'll see a newbie, an up-and-comer, and catch a good deal on a semi-used piece of equipment.
Yeah, there is a lot of bartering, buying and selling going on here at regionals, and a lot of t-shirt trading. We see a lot of
Yes.
that.
T-shirt.
Sometimes the team will bring extra team shirts. They'll either trade them with other agencies or they will sell them to make money for their trips to nationals.
Right. Lots of T-shirts up here for Volusia County Ocean Rescue that are available. Yesterday, people were even asking for sweat hoodies, which was the last thing they were thinking about when they were bringing their product up. But if you're ever visiting our headquarters and you don't get up here today, it's available year-round on the second floor. Just come in and visit, get a tour of the building. Hey, grab a recruitment flyer. We could use you. And like I said, we're even running recruiting classes in the fall now and doing some weekend classwork, just trying to get them ready ahead of spring break instead of during spring break. So whatever you'd like to get a tour of the station and maybe pick up some swag, and come on by the 500 block at South Atlantic Avenue, about a mile and a half from here, and give us a visit.
So a lot of these surf skis are the adjustable models, right? So we see people down on the shoreline adjusting the foot blocks, the pedals, making sure that they're maybe a little shorter for the female competitors. That was a great innovation in surf ski design that happened, I'd say in the last 10 years. It's become much more popular. That way your patrol or your competition team only needs to buy a couple surf skis. They can share them and they can be adjustable for each competitor. We've also seen some innovations in self-bailing surf skis. That's also a new thing that just started. Some of these surf skis, you'll see holes in the bottom of where you sit down, and there'll be tubes on the bottom that actually suck the water out of that bucket that you sit in, and keeping the surf ski at as lightest weight as possible, giving you a competitive advantage over those surf skiers that have that bucket all filled up with water.
So that's interesting. Now, it can't be exactly designed on the scheme of a dory boat, but one way or another, there's a scupper with a hidden one-way drain of some sort. I'm trying to envision where the outflow is.
It appears. I'm not a scientist here. I don't pretend to be.
Innovator of
but
skis.
It looks like it might work on that siphon principle.
Okay.
Where the ski going forward creates some type of vacuum to suck that water out of that seat bucket.
Okay.
But I'm not exactly sure. If anybody knows more about this, I'd be welcome to that information.
Because it can begin to pool in the footwells all the way back to where they're actually seated.
I know Jay Butke out in California would have a better answer for me. If he wants to text me that answer, I'll get it out to the fans here.
Because a gallon of water is 8 pounds. It is
gallon of water's, yeah, something close to that. Yeah, yep. We have a shot now of our PRWC, driven by our ultra-qualified Volusia County Beach Safety Lifeguards. We have the ski operator in the front, and then we have the ski crewman in the back. He's sitting on that sled. It takes 2 people to operate these life-saving apparatus. And looks like they're just catching a little breather in between events.
That's awesome. Yeah, Volusia County is lucky enough to have the luxury of a fleet of about 6 of those personal watercraft. We also have a 22-foot Boston Whaler rescue boat that's stationed at the Coast Guard station at Station Ponce Inlet that patrols on a regular basis as well. So it really adds to our patrol value here, especially on crowded days, areas where our vehicles can't necessarily access, and of course they're radio equipped as well, so they can respond quickly to rescues.
Our female competitors are headed to the start line. Official Joe Wagenhals has called everybody to the start line. We see our swimmers adjusting their goggles, adjusting their swimsuits, lining up. I do not believe that people have picked popsicle sticks for placement here. It's basically line up where you want to for your best competitive advantage. The swim is much shorter than it was yesterday for the American Ironwoman. I think yesterday they were swimming close to 400 yards. It looks like today they might be swimming more like 250 yards.
Yeah, it's a sprint today. Now, have you ID'd our top 2 competitors or 3 competitors out there as far as what they're wearing? I know that April O'Gorman's going to be in black with a red cap.
And obviously we're looking to see what Casey Francis is wearing.
Is she in her blue one piece, or has she got the orange day glow top on?
I can't tell at this
much
point.
Easier to ID that way.
But we would have to expect, along with, I believe her name is Lauren from Destin, April O'Gorman and Casey Francis being our favorites going into this event.
Yeah, I don't want to discount any of the other competitors, but just by sheer experience and results from past competitions, those two are the ones to be watching for. If I was a betting man, I would be looking for them in a trifecta. At least 2 out of the 3 are going to be those two. Okay, the final finisher just got off the course, believe it or not. Hey, good for him. He's a bit winded on the men's open International Ironman. So we're ready to go.
And the ladies are lined up. They're in the hands of the starter. They're receiving their final instructions.
Okay, I'm counting 10 boards at water's edge.
Yeah, it does appear that we have 10 competitors in this open American Ironwoman final. And there's Casey Francis grabbing her own board.
Okay.
I guess her team member that was supposed to put her board on the line forgot to do so. She is wearing her aqua-colored one-piece with her black Fort Lauderdale Ocean Rescue beanie.
Okay. We've got her ID. This is going to be a sprint.
And, you know, I don't know that Casey has any weakness in her game here. So
I don't either. I don't either. I know swimming was her original
and she did win
talent.
the open swim and the open run, swim, run.
Yes. They're posing for pictures. Look at that show of camaraderie on screen right now. They're all arm in arm, which is nice.
You know, and we also have Gwen Bensey in this event.
Oh.
Gwen Bensey coming from a family of lifesavers. Rich history in paddleboard racing in this family. Gwen is a former national champion winning Lifeguard Nationals on the paddleboard in Cape May a couple years back. She also won the paddleboard open women's paddleboard race today, and I expect her to do very well in this event. She was a competitive swimmer growing up, swam on swim teams with my son, did junior lifeguards.
Okay.
With some of the kids my son grew up with. I've known the Bensey family most of my lifeguarding career, and we expect her to do great things in this event. Of her disciplines, I think surf skiing is the newest discipline that she's been working on. But they're off. Looks like we have Destin in front.
Nice high stepping into the surf by Destin.
This is a clinic in surf dash right here.
Which is important with a short swim like this. You know, you're cutting out about 25% of this whole thing on your entries and your exits.
And the swimmers are underway. At least our lead pack is done with their surf dash. They've completed their porpoising, and now they're fully into their front crawl stroke.
The choppiness is a little bit different than this morning's surface of the ocean.
And I know that stroke of our leader.
Yes.
That is clearly Casey Francis. Very high body position. Looks like she has her whole upper body out of the water. Very good vantage point to get an eye on that first black and white checkered sausage buoy at the north end of the swimming area here.
I see this same stroke style watching triathlon pros in open water.
Very similar, especially with the choppy water that we have here today. Now Casey's going to try to lengthen it out here from sausage buoy to sausage buoy. But, you know, just like in the paddleboard racing, we have drafting involved in this as well.
Sure.
They're not letting Casey swim away with this. I see the second, third, and fourth place swimmer are right there with her.
Maybe trying to, I don't know if she would be trying to save anything, but boy, she's got a draft right on her tippy toes. I guarantee you somebody's tapped her toes.
And she has a pretty fast transitional run here. And she's no slacker on the paddleboard. She came in 5th in the open paddle. But,
and tall, so her porpoise exit will be
that's definitely
a little sooner than most.
And when she does her high knee running, that's definitely an advantage over these shorter competitors.
I don't see April.
Look at that race for second place.
Yeah, I don't see April O'Gorman in that. She may be on the left.
Or that could be Brooke Bennett. I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, that's not a solid red beanie, so I don't see April O'Gorman in this picture right now. Of course, there's a long way to go in this race.
And Casey is now doing her high knee running out of the surf. She's got a pretty good lead there in first place, and like I said,
look at that high step.
She's such a good endurance athlete that there won't be any slowing down here on this jog. Look at that. She's got at least, I would say, a 50, 75 meter head start over these other women as she grabs her paddleboard. And as she hits the water, I see another Fort Lauderdale competitor. You know what? That might not be Fort Lauderdale. They have that Fort Lauderdale colored bathing suit, but I see that Emerald Coast color cap. So Casey in first place.
It may be O'Gorman now in second. I can't be sure. I know the black suit was what Volusia's team color was for this week. And I would have fully expected her to be in that top 5.
And now we have the paddleboard train here. Everybody enjoying the draft advantage from the board ahead of them. Only Casey here on the front, breaking the wind, breaking the current with her board in the front.
And she's in the prone position with her legs just going at it.
And you see the legs look like they're flailing in the air like that. There's actually a competitive advantage to doing that. It's just like when you're running and you're pumping your arms.
It's a balance, body
keep
balance.
Your momentum going. So yeah, it helps with balance. It also helps with momentum.
Yeah, you can even see second place. They're mimicking the same body language with their legs as they round that second apex, or first apex. I'm sorry.
And we have a move by our second place paddler, pulling up next to Casey, enjoying a little bit of that that nose draft, allowing her to now pass her on the paddleboard.
And now they have to endure the nose of the chop.
Could this be Gwen Bensey? I'm not exactly sure. It does. The red beanie could be that red beanie from the Red Army of Boca.
Casey Francis did not like that move. She geared back up and is not letting that board get by her.
But if this is Gwen Bensey, and it may be, she is a fierce competitor, very, very schooled in the paddleboard discipline.
Smooth transition back up to the knee.
I don't expect her to relinquish this lead.
Oh, goodness.
Look at our third place paddler.
Who in the world?
Wow.
Got on a runner.
Yeah, somebody caught a little bit of a run. And now we have a new leader.
Jetted right by them.
Is this our destined paddler?
I think it is.
Wow.
She had to take a break
impressive.
After that, but she wasn't going to let the momentum of that runner go. She just went for it and passed him like they were standing still. So now we're starting to see the frequency of these little bumps on the surf line used to their advantage.
Now we're seeing that red beanied racer pulling away, catching that short break runner, leaving Casey in third. She lost her advantage. I'm guessing that's Gwen Bensey out in front. And it looks like we have our destined competitor in second place. Headed into the surf ski. This should be interesting.
Definitely hurting.
Casey is great on the surf ski. Maybe she can make up some of this distance. But I'll tell you what, this is a huge lead for our first place competitor here.
Certainly is.
And we have our ski handlers holding the craft in place until our competitors get in that bucket seat. A little bit of a push going on there, and she is off. And this is a great advantage to be able to get out in front of everybody here. And this is where you reach into the gas tank and you just let go with everything you have left.
Right, this could be the final event for some of them. Some of them are going to be in the Taplin. But nevertheless, this is their individual bragging points for this event. This is what they trained for, this individual Ironwoman. So yeah, you got to let it all go now. Increasingly more white caps out on the ocean. A little bit harder to navigate. So this is where training is going to, training in rough seas is going to be to the advantage of the person that's putting more time into this open water as opposed to a more controlled environment.
And if somebody could please text me up here in the booth, I want to blow up Gwen Bency if that is in fact her, but if it's not her, I want to make sure I get the credit out to the appropriate athlete.
Yeah, I don't want to mistake her from April O'Gorman from Volusia because they're both wearing the same thing. And I can't
They both have those red beanies on.
Yeah, I can't really tell.
But whoever this athlete is, they now have a commanding lead. Looks like, wow, I would say a good 75, 80-yard lead going around the center apex buoy. And that lead seems to only be getting longer. And we talked about the different types of surf skis here on the course. This is one of those epic surf skis imported from South Africa.
That you have now.
I have, but I don't use as much as I should.
Well, I didn't
Let's just say that it's still in pristine condition.
Okay.
Wow, this is very impressive. I think this race is pretty much over.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but
she's tasking the rest of the field.
Right.
Sure.
At this point, this lead is now becoming a 100-yard lead. And I know when this craft hits the beach and the foot race begins, it won't be much of a race. This will be a nice slow jog by the look of this lead.
And maybe enjoy their victory.
Very, very impressive. And again, would somebody please reach out to me up here in the booth and tell me who this is. I want to make sure I get all the due credit to this amazing athlete.
I think it's April O'Gorman.
I misspoke. That was not Gwen Bency. That is April O'Gorman.
She has two caps on.
Two different caps.
A red beanie over a white cap.
And wow, that was super impressive. And in second place, I believe we have our destined competitor.
No wonder April didn't want us to break her concentration. Yeah, good for her.
And then, actually, that's our Emerald. Is that our Destin or Emerald Coast competitor? And Casey Francis in third place.
And that was a nice race for her, too.
And the race is not over. We've only contested the top 3 spots. Points are awarded to 16 places in all of these open events. So as awesome as those first 3 competitors were, we have 4th place coming in now.
Out on the course, we still have, yes, several.
Yeah, that looks like our destined competitor.
Offering congratulations to Casey.
And we have 5th place coming down the chute right now.
Is that
Congratulations, Glenn? 5th place.
And some of the skiers out there right now, they're struggling with this chop a little bit and fatigue. It's not that they're
right. So the surf ski as a discipline is difficult enough. Throw in a 300-meter swim and a 600-meter paddle, and all the fatigue that lends itself to that kind of stuff. And then let's say jump on this surf ski and do a half a mile around the course. This is a lot of balance, a lot of stamina. I've seen a couple of the women fall off their skis, which is understandable with this kind of side chop, with this kind of fatigue in the length of this event. But like we've said in other events, depending on how they do in this event, they'll decide to whether I'm going to buckle down and do better next time, or you know what, this event isn't really for me.
I don't like this. Yeah, we have one ski out on the course, still at the first apex buoy, and they're off the ski, and it's not easy with the fatigue setting in to get back up on it. It's just not. They seem to be struggling a little bit.
You got to start somewhere, right?
Got to start somewhere, and they are up. They straddled it horse style, so they are back up.
And when you're out there on a ski and you've fallen off, the first thing that goes through your mind is the embarrassment that you're feeling. But, you know, there's not a lot of embarrassment involved in this discipline, only because it's such a hard discipline to master that there's empathy more than embarrassment,
Yeah.
you know, from the other competitors on the course. And, yeah, like I said, this is the impetus that makes a competitor want to buckle down and put more hours into training.
Right. I mean, compared to how many people are on the beach watching, you're out there.
Right. The person that comes in last place falling off their ski still beats every single one of those people that didn't enter this event.
That's what I always say at the pool when I'm swimming my laps at the Y, and there'll be somebody struggling a little bit with the water temp or their stroke at the Y. I go, hey, you hear all those cars going by on the highway? They're not here.
That's right. You beat all those people that didn't show up for that practice.
Right. We turned into the parking lot, put our suits on, and got in the water, and thousands of cars meanwhile are driving by. So, hey.
And now we have our last couple of surf ski paddlers finishing their final leg of the International Ironwoman. And still some competitiveness going on. We still see some pretty fast sprinting down the beach. No quitters in this group, that's for sure.
Hats off to them.
And I just got word from our scorekeeper, Skip Prosser, that was in fact April O'Gorman who won this event, going away from Volusia County. I think she won by almost 100 yards. Very impressive.
Jim, that may have been a wrap. I don't know if we got age groupers or if they determined that anybody that was going to participate went ahead and jumped in open.
Well, that was an excellent decision if that's in fact what they did. We call that rostying, race once, score twice.
Yes.
And there are a variety of opinions on whether or not to do that. But from a race organizing standpoint, from an officiating standpoint, we love that.
Yes.
It helps us right through the event a little bit faster. Maybe we'll get off the course today before 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's a good way. Yeah, it's a good way to catch back up. We're looking pretty good as far as scheduling goes. There's always a weather factor. We thought we were going to be clear. Radar showed a little bit out to the west. I don't know if it can make it against this wind, but nevertheless, if they did rosty it, we got it out of the way, and we can get these next two events done and finished, and get a little bit of a break before we resume at the Ocean Deck tonight at 6:30. That would be nice.
So the International Ironwoman, Ironman appears to be in the can, as they say.
Outstanding. Congratulations to all the competitors and scorers for that. And a shout out to the water course. The water course held up. They moved it around. Scott Peterson and the boys got out there and got us another beautiful setup for this. And same with the run course. I was impressed with how quickly they assembled the lane course for the sprint 90 meter, which they're going to use again. So it takes a lot of moving parts, to get in cooperation.
Takes a village.
It takes a village. We're making memories here, right? And
absolutely.
And what not to do and what to do each and every time. But all the moving parts from production in the back with televising this thing and drone operation to registration to producing this whole thing and to get these teams collectively here and off for the day and to cover those beaches that they've left behind is a big deal. You're like, well, who's minding the beach? But nevertheless, we got them all here with a huge participation from 18 different beach patrols. So it's a big heads up, thumbs up for everyone.
So now that the International Ironman, International Ironwoman is finished, we're now marshaling for the run relay. So those same runners that did that 90-meter beach sprint earlier will now be deciding who's going to be on their respective run relay teams and who's going to be the leadoff runner. Like I said, a lot of times your fastest beach flag runner will be your leadoff runner, and then who's going to be your anchor leg, that's usually your fastest runner. But every team coach has their own strategy. But at least now we have some tryouts in the books this morning in the form of the 90-meter beach sprint that team captains can look at and decide who's going to be on their respective run relay teams.
Right, who's still loose, who's still too tired, who wants to
still
save
injury-free?
Who's injury-free, who wants to save it for tonight, and who's drawing straws underneath their tents. Where we're going to take a break and look at one of our Volusia County beach safety hiring videos, maybe get some recruiting in while we're at it. So we'll see you back here in a minute.
My name's Logan. I chose to be a lifeguard because I just love the beach and I just want to help people.
My name is Riley, and I chose to become a lifeguard because I want to help people, and also I want to be like a Navy SEAL, so I thought it would like transfer well.
Going out for my favorite part of the job, my paid training hour every day. So yeah, if you like to train and you love the water, come be a Volusia County lifeguard.
I value people's lives. I want to be someone on that right chair saving people.
I know that they always save people's lives and they're really disciplined and they're a good lifeguarding organization, and I just wanted to do something meaningful, like help people.